Bryan.
Present.
Balms.
Present.
Torstenson.
Here.
Woodside.
Present.
Ross.
Here.
Garner.
Here.
Okay, if you'd all stand with me together for the Pledge of Allegiance. Welcome, everybody. First item is the approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Balmas, second by Trustee Garner. Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balms.
Aye.
Torstenson.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. Garner.
Aye.
Motion carries. Austin?
Item number 1, approval of ordinance -18, approving and publishing the official zoning map of the Village of Gurnee. Item number 2, approval of ordinance 2024-19, executing a 3-year contract with the Mad Bomber Fireworks Productions for fireworks display services, 2024 through 2026 Gurnee Days fireworks. Item number 3, approval of resolution 2024-02, authorizing maintenance and improvements of streets and highways under the Illinois Highway Code 2024 Motor Fuel Tax Program. Item number 4, approval of granting a Class 9 liquor license and waiving the fee for the Exchange Club of Gurnee for the Village of Gurnee/Gurnee Park District Bonfires and Brews event on May 4th, 2024. Item number 5, approval of payroll for period ending March 8th, 2024, in the amount of $971,959.10. Item number 6, approval of the bills for period ending March 25th, 2024, in the amount of $1,016,671.26.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Garner, second by Trustee Torstenson. Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balms.
Aye.
Torstenson.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. Garner.
Aye.
Motion carries. On to petitions and communications. First item on is the approval of the proclamation designating April as Fair Housing Month in the Village of Gurnee. April 11th, 2024 marks the 56th anniversary of the Civil Rights Act, which guarantees equal housing opportunities for all citizens. Therefore, April is acknowledged as Fair Housing Month and recognizing the importance of fair housing laws and programs in eliminating discrimination and ensuring that individuals in Illinois can choose where to live without being discriminated against based on their race, color, religion, age, gender, marital status, national origin, and/or disability. It is also important to recognize the role of fair housing groups and other organizations in promoting and preserving equal opportunity. Now, therefore, I, Thomas Hood, Mayor of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim April 2024 as Fair Housing Month in the Village of Gurnee and encourage all residents, businesses, and organizations to promote and preserve equal housing opportunities for all. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Trustee O'Brien, second by Trustee Torstenson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. The second item is approval of proclamation designating April as 911 Education Month in the Village of Gurnee. The Village of Gurnee joins with national public safety leaders to promote 911 awareness and proper usage. The Village of Gurnee begins a month-long campaign in April to help Americans of all ages recognize the importance of 911 and the role they play in ensuring effective and efficient emergency response in times of crisis. Groups including the United States Congress, the National Emergency Number Association, a leading public safety association, have also recognized April as National 911 Education Month and are encouraging the media, the 911 community, the wireless industry, and public information providers to engage in 911 awareness and education activities this month. Now, therefore, I, Thomas Hood, Mayor of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim April 2024 as 911 Education Month in the Village of Gurnee and call upon all parents, teachers, school administrators, caregivers, and residents to observe this month with appropriate training events and activities. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Woodside, second by Trustee Balmas. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Item 3, approval of proclamation designating April as Child Abuse Prevention Month and recognizing the Blue Kids Lake County Project. During the month of April, we recognize National Child Abuse Prevention Month and the importance of communities working together to help families thrive and prevent child maltreatment. Throughout the year, communities are encouraged to increase awareness about child and family well-being and work together to implement effective strategies and support families and prevent child abuse. Further, I would like to recognize Lake County Children's Advocacy Center Blue Kids program for encouraging our local businesses, schools, and community to have conversations about child abuse in Lake County, engaging people to speak up and creating public awareness. Now therefore, I, Thomas Hood, Mayor of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim April 2024 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in the Village of Gurnee. I call upon and encourage all residents to join in dedicating their energies to cherishing our children and helping them grow and develop free from physical, emotional, and sexual harm. Is there a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
Motion by Trustee O'Brien, second by Trustee Ross. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Let's see, the last proclamation, here's the last one, yes. Last one, approval of proclamation designating April as Alcohol Awareness Month in the Village of Gurnee. Alcohol Awareness Month is a public health program organized by the National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependence as a way of increasing outreach and education regarding the dangers of alcoholism and issues related to alcohol. The program was started in April 1987 with the intention of targeting college-age students who might be drinking too much as a part of their newfound freedom. It has since become a national movement to draw more attention to the causes and effects of alcoholism, as well as how to help families and communities deal with drinking problems. Now therefore, I, Thomas Hood, Mayor of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim April 2024 as Alcohol Awareness Month in the Village of Gurnee and urge all residents to support those efforts of those working to prevent alcoholism. Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion by Trustee Garner, second by Trustee Thorstensen. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, aye.
No reports, no old business, so on to new business. First item is approval of ordinance 2024, authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement with Northeastern Illinois Regional Crime Lab. Austin?
The Village of Gurnee is a longtime member of the Northeastern Illinois Regional Crime Lab. The lab was founded in 1968 and is located in Mundelein. The laboratory provides forensic services to a Chicagoland population of over 1.6 million and includes DNA, latent prints, firearms, tool marks, controlled substance, and toxicology analysis. Their services provided include drug and firearm destruction. These services are provided in a timely and efficient manner. The Northeastern Regional Crime Lab is accredited to the ISO/IEC 17025-2017 international standards by ANSI ASQ National Accreditation Board for Forensic Testing. Accreditation requires documentation and implementation of international standards regarding the technical procedures, quality assurance standards, and managerial operations. The operating cost of the lab is shared by all member agencies and is calculated based on population. In fiscal year 23-24, the village's dues was just over $47,000. The Northeastern Regional Crime Lab has requested all member agencies sign a new intergovernmental agreement. The agreement is pretty short and straightforward. Attorney Winter has reviewed and had no concerns. It is now ready for your consideration.
Any questions or comments? To my right? To my left?
Second.
Motion by Trustee Balma, second by Trustee Woodside. Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balms.
Aye.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. Garner.
Aye.
6 aye.
Motion carries. On to item 2, approval of Engineering Division's recommendation to award the 2024 Street Maintenance Resurfacing Program to the low bidder Payne and Dolan, Inc. at a cost of $4,445,904.54. Austin?
The village budgeted $6.9 million for the transportation system improvements in fiscal year 24-25 budget, of which $5.9 is earmarked for street resurfacing and pavement patching. Based on early budget estimates, staff was anticipating a 6-mile program for 2024. As the budget developed, additional funding was allocated towards the roadway program that took the total budget to $5.9 million. that staff estimated would cover about 6.67 miles of roadway, the largest program to date. On March 18th, 2024, the engineering division opened 3 bids related to the program. The bids range from $4.445 million to $4.827 million. All of the bids were very competitive and under staff's estimated budget by approximately $1 million. Staff's estimate for the program was $5.639 million. Payne and Dolan was the low bidder at $4.445 million. Payne and Dolan is a solid company who had the contract in 2017, 2019, 2021, and 2022 roadway contracts. Staff is looking at using the savings to expand the road program and potentially fund a portion of the outdoor material storage bins at Public Works. Additional information on both will be shared at the next budget hearing, which is going to take place on April 22nd as it relates to the resurfacing program. I concur with staff's recommendation to award the contract to the low bidder. It is now ready for your consideration.
Any questions? Trustee O'Brien?
For the motion, do we have to have the exact amount down to the penny? It wasn't mentioned.
Currently, that's the amount, but it might change. Is
It
that what you're
just
asking?
wasn't mentioned in the recap. That's the only reason I'm asking.
Oh, I believe it's the $4,445,904.54, right?
Perfect. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
thanks.
moved then.
Any other questions? Motion by trustee O'Brien, second by trustee Garner. Roll call, please.
Bryan.
Aye.
Balms.
Aye.
Tortenson.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. Garner. 6 aye.
Motion carries. Approval of Public Works Department request to purchase 2 Peterbilt 548 chassis from JX Peterbilt of Wadsworth, Illinois, at a cost of $284,429.48. Public Works Department Units 651 and 692. Austin.
The Village Board approved the purchase of 4 Peterbilt chassis in April of 2022. 3 of the chassis just arrived 2 weeks ago. Unit 692's replacement was not one of the 3. While already approved by the Village Board in 2022, pricing has increased as Peterbilt does not allow prepay option or to lock in pricing. As a result, staff is bringing the request back to the Village Board for approval. In addition, staff is recommending approval to replace Unit 651. That is included in the fiscal year 23-24 approved budget. Typically, the request to replace 651 would have came last year. However, Peterbilt was not taking orders at that time, and therefore the request has been delayed until now. The Peterbilt 548 chassis is the chassis we have been purchasing for snow plows. The Peterbilts have held up very well compared to other manufacturers. Staff continues to be pleased with their performance and the service from JX Peterbilt. Currently, Unit 692 will be stepped down to a backup plow, while 651 will remain as the primary unit for more years to come. Once the units are stepped down, the current backups will be sent to auction, which will be probably a few years from now. It is now ready for your consideration.
Any questions or comments? Is there a motion? Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee Garner. Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balms.
Aye.
Tortenson.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. Garner. 6 aye.
Motion carries. Item 4, approval of request from Public Works Department to waive bidding requirements and purchase central hydraulic system, hook lift system, dump body, snow plow, wing plow, tailgate spreader, and spreader control system from Bunnell Industries at a cost not to exceed $370,129.14. Public Works Department Units 651 and 692. Austin.
Following chassis approval, the trucks need to be upfitted with snow removal, hydraulic, spreader control, and hook lift systems. Due to the territorial sales related to this equipment, the village has used Stellar hook lift systems that are provided and installed by Bunnell Industries of Dixon, Illinois. The equipment requested is the same equipment we have been standardizing our snow and ice control trucks with over the past 11 years. Bunnell and the village have created a very good working relationship with the purchase of new equipment as well as the upgrading of the existing equipment. Staff has been pleased with the quality of the equipment, the professional installation, and the responsiveness to our needs. Bunnell Industries utilizes 1 technician to install all of the equipment that we specify. This is important from the standpoint of consistency and affords us the ability to communicate as often as necessary to discuss changes as to the installation or routing of equipment. While a sizable investment, staff has been speccing the trucks and equipment that are expected to provide 15 years plus of service for upfitting has been included in the fiscal year 2023-2024 approved budget. It is now ready for your consideration.
Questions or comments? Is there, question, trustee Balmas?
Will all of this equipment be here before November, December this year for snow plowing?
I don't know, Craig could,
I'm sorry. Yeah, would you? I'm sorry.
So the upfitting for the chassis that we just took delivery of a couple weeks ago, those are scheduled to be upfitted next year in March of 2025. So these upfittings that we're going to have now for these next two trucks, I don't have a build date for those yet, but it'll be later in 2025, if not maybe beginning of 26.
Oh, wow. It really is.
So this is basically a placeholder with Benel because they're so backed up with their builds that we just need to get in line and hold our place.
I was hoping.
Yeah, no, we are too.
I
We are
get
too.
it.
Yeah.
Other questions? No? Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion by trustee Ross. Second by trustee Garner. Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balms.
Aye.
Thorntonson.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
6 aye.
Motion carries. Now is time for public comments, so if anybody would like to speak, then you could step up to the microphone and state your name, please.
Shelley Palmer, 6304 Doral Drive, Wentworth Subdivision. It's not a law but a recommendation written by the Illinois Liquor Commission that no liquor license shall be issued within 100 feet of a church, school, hospital, home for the aged, indigent person, veterans, or any military or naval station. Bickford Senior Living and Memory Care Facility is 66 feet from the new Casey's that is being built. According to Gurney's Municipal Code, Section 6.17, no license required by this chapter shall be issued if the location is determined to be detrimental to the general character of the surrounding neighborhood and the projected impact of the premises upon the surrounding neighborhood of the village as a whole would be considered detrimental. The location of Casey's directly adjoins Wentworth subdivision. Wentworth is adjacent to Rolling Ridge subdivision on the east and South Ridge subdivision to the north. It seems to me that those who crafted the municipal code created section 6.17 to protect its citizens from the negative impact liquor sales has on surrounding neighborhoods. To recap, trustees Garner and Ross voted against liquor sales in Gurnee. The Illinois Liquor Commission recommends against liquor sales within 100 feet of a senior living facility. Gurney's own municipal code recommends against liquor sales if the location is detrimental to the general character of the surrounding neighborhood and the projected image of the premises upon the surrounding neighborhood. A petition was signed by more than 600 Gurnee residents who shared concerns about building a Casey's in the Wentworth neighborhood. The potential sale of alcohol was specifically noted in the petition. Casey's is eligible to apply for a liquor license. It doesn't require that this license be issued. Trustees, please continue to protect citizens of Gurnee and not issue a liquor license to Casey's, which directly adjoins Wentworth subdivision, is adjacent to Rolling Ridge and South Ridge subdivisions, is 66 feet from Bickford Senior Living and Memory Care Facility. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, I'm going to move the microphone so Karen can speak without standing up.
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, sure. Whatever is convenient.
Does it come out of it?
If I take it out, it probably won't come back.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. Still got to move it over, though.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Could you
I
state
live
your
in the
name,
home-
ma'am?
Oh, I'm sorry, Karen Minsky, 6488 Doral Drive.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I live in the home on the corner of Doral Drive and Wentworth. Casey's is literally in my backyard. I appreciate that Gurnee will realize substantial tax revenue from Casey's. My concern is the potential for criminal activity and noise resulting from the sale of alcohol. I'm impressed that the proclamation designating April as Alcohol Awareness Month has passed. On a personal level, I'm having surgery this spring and again this summer. I will be coming home the day after surgery in both cases. I'd like to think that in my own home, in my own rooms, I will be able to recuperate in peace and quiet. I believe this will be nearly impossible, as the majority of my windows, as well as my outdoor patio, directly face Casey's. I implore the board to take my neighbors and my physical needs into consideration by denying Casey's request for an alcohol license. You wouldn't want a business like Casey's in your backyard, and I don't want one in mine either. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I can do this without breaking it. Please don't break it. Anyone else? Good evening. We meet again. I noted some kind of wry smiles coming from a few people when the proclamation for alcohol awareness was read. As you know, everybody in Wentworth is acutely aware of alcohol. I've been told by Pat Mutz has been nothing but forthcoming with information. He's gotten back to me, and he indicates that Casey's has now applied for a license for alcohol and tobacco. And the process will proceed, as we all know. There'll be some background checks for the financials. There'll be some background checks for incorporation. The police department will do their background checks. And I hope that when this comes before the board, and I'm sure it's probably going to be in April, that there are some questions by the trustees of any representative who might be from Casey's as to the background in terms of Casey's record for the sale of alcohol to underage drinkers, which directly addresses the proclamation you just all unanimously passed. Because college drinkers start as underage drinkers. So if you can ask Casey what they've done since about 6 or 7 years ago when the FDA singled them out for a letter with commenting on their poor performance with serving underage drinkers. And when the police department does their alcohol and checks, I know they're going to check the background of the individuals per the statutes and things like that. But you should also remember that Casey's locations have been cited twice in the last year by the Lake County Department, Sheriff's Department, for their checks for underage drinkers. So those are the kinds of questions that I hope you ask. But what we're dealing with now is a question of quid pro quo, this for that. We heard the economic development people talk about how Gurnee was in an uncompetitive situation vis-a-vis other towns if places like Casey's or BP or Thornton's couldn't sell alcohol. So there's a give and take, a this for that. Will we give up a little bit of our reluctance, which we've had in the past, to sell alcohol, to move forward, to be more pro-business? And I'm not anti-business, and I'm not anti-alcohol. I'll probably have a drink when I go home tonight. But unlike the hypothetical person coming home and remembering, oh, I forgot the bottle of wine, rather than stop at Casey's and pay probably $2 or $3 more for it than I could if I drove down the road another mile to one of the many stores in Gurnee that does sell alcohol, okay? I'll still support Gurnee businesses. I just don't understand why Casey's needs to have a license to sell alcohol. And I'm sure there was no quid pro quo when Casey's or BP or Thornton's came to the economic development people or vice versa and said, what can we do to help make this more business friendly? I mean, BP has gotten a very good a deal from the city as far as money, but I'm sure that investment's going to be paid off very quickly. And it's context, all right? The BP location is going to be taking out of the city basically a derelict area and doing a lot of work to come up to code for as far as the flooding. And that's going to be a very positive for the city, the village. And there's no homes nearby. There's no homes nearby. And if Thornton's decides to build up where the old Chinese buffet used to be, that's going to be a very positive for the city and village in terms of taxes, and there's no homes nearby there. So I'm sure the board will probably take it under advisement and consider voting them licenses to sell alcohol when they come, and they will come. So whether Casey's had any kinds of conversations, I'm sure they weren't there was no representations made to them that it's going to happen. But now that they know that their license is available, they're coming forward for it. But it's all about context, okay? Those other locations are going to be improved. This was a vacant field, and now it's got a gas station on it. Those other locations are not near residential areas. This one backs right up into residential areas. You know, you have a decision to make. And it's your decision to make, because if this was all just, they meet the criteria set out by the statute, we give them a license, then it wouldn't be a license. It'd be a permit. You've written your laws specifically to bring those kinds of decisions, whether it's budget, whether it's approving of a National Alcoholism Month, but specifically about licenses to lend a scrutiny to the process that's not just by permit. And anybody who thinks that, well, I can't vote against them because they meet all the criteria, you should then surrender your right to vote. Because you're here as trustees. Trust. We put our trust in you. We don't have precincts. You represent all of us. And there's been a lot of people that have come before you or signed petitions that have basically said, I know we couldn't stop a gas station, but can you at least consider the context of putting alcohol next to this subdivision? And it wasn't lost on me also that the last time I spoke before you was the day that Casey's Corporate announced that they want to be the beer and wine location for all their, where they're located. Now, most Casey's are located in small towns that don't have liquor stores or pizza places, so that makes sense. But does it make sense to have an alcohol outlet right next to us? I don't think so. So you guys all have a decision to make. Now, decision comes from the Greek word meaning to cut off. Incision is to cut in, decision is to cut off. So basically what that means is when you make a decision about Casey's, you're going to cut off any other possibility of that, anybody coming to the village and saying, well, you did it for Casey's, they're right next to a neighborhood, why can't we do it? There's been some concern expressed by you that if we deny it to them, then we're going to get sued. Well, that's a risk that you take when you put things in your own charter that says we will take into consideration the good of the village. That's all we ask of you as trustees. That's why we trust you to consider this when you make a decision. We look forward to that decision. We will be here, obviously, when that decision is made, but we're speaking here tonight because we recognize once it becomes part of the agenda, we can't speak until afterwards. But I guarantee you, as soon as you send out your announcements that this is coming before the board, you will hear from a lot of us again. I thank you for your time, your consideration, your service to the community, and I hope it extends to this upcoming decision. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else like to speak? Going once, going twice. All set. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Balmas, second by Trustee Garner. All in favor? Say aye. Aye. We're adjourned. Great job.